Hi everyone, welcome on board to FEMI, where you get the reliable news that is tailored for you, and of course where you can actually comment and interact.
Buhari has certain people around him. These people come in form of special assistants, advisors, and several names. One of them is the presidential aide FEMI ADESINA. He has said the unbelievable once again. At times, I wonder if this man himself is a tyrant. Do not think that people who are in the military are the only ones that are dictators. I've also always told you that there are two types of people in that contraption called Nigeria. The typical Nigerian and the exceptional ones, unfortunately trapped in that contraption. The typical Nigerians are the likes of FEMI ADESINA. If he were to be a military officer, he would have been a dictator. So whatever position or whatever it is that they occupy, they always, replicate, they always mirror exactly the same thing that everyone is complaining about. They are the ones that were paid by politicians to attack peaceful protesters. FEMI ADESINA said that if President Buhari had not exercised restraint and tolerance of a father, Nigerians would have been talking about something else in the wake of the crisis that enveloped the country after the EndSARS protests were hijacked by hoodlums. In an article he released today, ADESINA, who is the president's special advisor on media and publicity, said all through the EndSARS protests and riots, mayhem and looting that followed, President Buhari acted like a father, probably his own father. Now I'm going to read some of the article in parts. He said there is truly a huge difference between an instructor, a tutor, and a father. One is a hireling procured to pass knowledge, while the other is an insider, an interested party who is pater familias, as my late dad would say. All through the EndSARS protests and the riots, mayhem and looting that followed, President Muhammadu Buhari acted like a father. And though we have millions of instructors in this country, we have not many fathers. President Buhari is one. The president is by no means a soft man. Remember the man of iron and steel that ruled with iron fist between January 1984 and August 1985. With his kindred spirit, Babatunde Diagbon, they attempted to knock sense into our heads as Nigerians, but were eventually toppled by people who had less patience for discipline. Is President Buhari as hard as he was in 1984? Yes and no. In personal traits and attributes, he remains the unbending iron, but in terms of administration and response to people and situations, he is tempered by democracy and by time. What he could do by military fear then, he must pass through democratic due process now. He wore khaki then, now he wears agbada. No wonder he now talks longingly about the time when I was young and ruthless. Well, he's no longer young and he must be more avuncular, even fatherly, for that is what he is, and ruthlessness has not much place in democracy, if any at all. That was why when the EndSARS protest started and began to fester and was eventually hijacked and misdirected, President Buhari did not change the instructions, the rules of engagement to security agencies, particularly the police. Things began to degenerate. Policemen were being killed, prisoners being set free, roads and airports being blocked. The economy was being locked down once again after the about 5-month lockdown imposed by COVID-19. Yet the president did not change the order to the police. Particularly, it was not till last week that Inspector General of Police instructed his men to now use lawful force to confront any insurrection. Sadly, scores of them had been killed in cold blood, scores of petrol vehicles touched, and over 200 police stations, public and private properties burned. If President Buhari had not exercised the restraint and tolerance of a father at a time that even hitherto respected people instigated the protesters to carry on, and they promptly went on the ground when anarchy ensued, we would have been talking of something else in the country. The rivers of Nigeria would have turned crimson, and mourning and lamentations would have suffused the land. But we are thankful for the Father in President Muhammadu Buhari, patient and enduring almost to a fault. In his national broadcast, he said instigators of the riots misunderstood the pacifist nature of government for weakness. We are not only in government, we are also in power, General Ibrahim Babangida said in 1993 after he annulled the fair presidential election of that year. If President Buhari had wanted to show that he was in power, something quite unsavory could have happened in the land, but he rather chose to be a father. Ye have many instructors, but many fathers. These are the words of FEMI ADESINA, spokesperson to Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, the president of Nigeria. But what many of those people who come out to write articles are not actually looking into is the part of democracy. Military fiat, military dictatorship is not what it's on. Although we do not have that perfect democracy as it stands right now, we do not have that true federalism. There's a lot of rot in the system. But coming out to say he acted fatherly, would have done more, he would have acted more. Yes, we understand every of these things, but that would have resulted to the downfall of Nigeria, the end of Nigeria, and the downfall of Buhari. Buhari's family and himself would have started running helter-skelter because we saw videos of even police officers, some of them joining the NSAS and some of this. It would have become a free-for-all. Buhari would not have been able to escape flying through the airport. It would have been mayhem. He wouldn't have Daura to come back to. Because these guys think they can just threaten and say, oh, during the military era, this and that. It's different now. It's no longer business as usual. People are not like those days anymore. The kind of people we have in Nigeria now, they are different. They are a different breed. We have the people who want to break Nigeria apart already, who are talking about secession. We have a lot of things will go wrong in Nigeria. It will be worse than the Civil War. So they shouldn't come out threatening people and talking about this. No one wants war or any of these things because a lot of people will die. Even the FEMI ADESINA will not even have abroad to hide. Back in those days, when criminals and dirty politicians and people like FEMI ADESINA, when they run abroad whenever there is a riot or some problems, thinking they are going to hide there, no one attacks them. No one does anything. But this time around, there are Nigerians in diaspora. There are people who have crossed the sea. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. And they are not happy. You think FEMI ADESINA will run to a country in Europe and they will not find him there and make sure he's dealt with? They will rubbish him. Make sure that they do something to him too. So there's nowhere to hide to. Buhari will not be able to run to any Arab country. There are people, there are Nigerians there. So it's not the same thing anymore. So it's not about, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and afterwards, what are you going to do next? Anyway, that's FEMI ADESINA. He has said his own. He has always been saying things that I find very unsavory, things that I cannot even relate to. He once said that we should be happy that terrorists are no longer using explosive but cutting off people's neck. What a terrible statement to have come out from a man who is supposed to be a person that should make use of his pen to write the truth.
I say a very big thank you to those who have taken time to subscribe to this channel, and if you're yet to subscribe, kindly tap on that subscription button and also the red bell icon so you will be notified whenever videos such as this are uploaded.